Glad you're staying with us on The Final Word on CNN Philippines. I'm Rico Hizon. The Concert King and Queen are back on television together. The reunion comes over 3 decades since their last show on the small screen. We'll hear more about this new project from concert royalties, Martin and Pops Fernandez. They join us now live tonight on The Final Word. Thank you so much for joining us, Pops and Martin.
Hello.
Hi, Rico.
So, Pops, let me start off with you. After all these years, let me count, about 25 to 26 years, what made you decide to reunite
Rico
with Martin on this new show, X's and Y's?
Watching us.
So was I, by the way. If he was a child, so was I. I just want you to know that.
I used to watch Penthouse live. The late 80s all the way to the mid-90s. So, Pops, tell me, what made you decide to work with Martin once again?
He forced me to. No, actually. No, we've always wanted to. Well, we've been doing shows together. We've been doing concerts together. And of course, we started out the team together on TV. So we have discussed this and we never thought we could actually do it. And then one day we just did it. So it's fun. It's great. And I'm enjoying myself. I don't know about you, Mart. Are you having fun?
Are you enjoying yourself, Martin, with with Pops?
Of course, I'm enjoying myself. For me, this is an easy fix, an easy idea. Pops and I have been doing this for many, many years in concerts all over the world, and then of course television when you were watching. When you were just a little boy, Rico. And Pops and I realized that especially during this pandemic, during this lockdown, that we should get creative, get our children busy because we're co-parenting 2 kids. So we have to find something for them to do as well. So we thought, why not a family project and go back to television? So here we are. It's called X's and Y's on the Colors cable channel.
You know what, Pops? My late mom was such a big fan of Penthouse Live. It was because of the program had so much charm and both of you had so much chemistry on television. So, is the chemistry still there?
I think so, yeah. We shouldn't be answering that, actually. It's for the viewers to let us know. But as far as working together, and I think it's also important that when you work with someone, you have a great time with that person, and you have a good time, and it's just fun. I mean, it's serious. Everything that we do is serious. It's definitely work, but it does. It helps a lot when you're enjoying yourself working with someone. And that's exactly how I feel when I work with Martin. It's instant. I think we can still read each other's minds, especially when we're hosting and when we're performing on stage. We've said this before. We have a script. It's there for us to follow and to read. But somehow we usually do things our own way, and we can come back. We go back to the thought and the idea. So that's when I say. That's what I mean when I say we can still read each other's minds. I know where he's going to go, and I think he knows where I'm going to take the concept and the idea. So we ride along. So that's the fun part of it. And it's actually a challenge. It's for me it's like a game. I don't know about you, Mart. For me it's like a game. I try to figure out where's he going to go with this? Where is he going to take me? That's where the game starts. But that's why it becomes really fun.
But Pops, Martin, when I watch the program, I see all smiles, everyone is happy. But what about in between breaks? What about after the show? What about before the show? Are there still arguments, Martin, between you and Pops?
Well, there's no more friction. Ever since during that time of uncomfortableness between the two exes, that time is past. So now Pops and I we've realized that the foundation of our relationship has always been friends. We were always the best of friends. And I think that's a good lesson for many exes out there to learn. If you can still be friends, I mean, there was a purpose for us to be together. And I think it's to entertain. We have 2 beautiful children together. Why not continue this tandem and show the tandems that are coming that follow us how it should be done. It should be as natural and as fun as we try to make it. And as Pops was saying earlier, it doesn't seem like work. So even during commercial breaks, which do we have a lot of commercials? I don't think so. Anyway, during the commercial break,
Crazy.
there's very little time for argument, or mostly chismes, mostly about we're talking about other people, like friends usually do.
We have a chance, and that's the only time we have together where we can also discuss, personal stuff, life.
I think we're trying to show the world, since unity seems to be the theme nowadays, that even exes can unite and ask the whys of the world and try and figure out the secret of love, life, mistakes, how you can go beyond the mistakes, how you can pull yourself up from challenges in your past. If Pops and I can show that kind of positivity on camera, and hopefully the people will learn and it'll spread, because we want good vibes. We don't want the bad vibes. And I'm sure also must be hard for you, Rico, because you have to report it the way you see it. Like in your saying, you say it's with the word that, how do you say it? This CNN, the news you can trust.
News you
correct?
can use, news you can trust.
Here it's X's and Y's with the husband you cannot trust.
Do you agree, Pops?
I
A
didn't
husband that
say
you cannot
anything.
trust? Pops?
That came from him. I didn't say anything.
But
Thank God that whole phase in our
Behind us.
lives. Yes, and somehow we've survived it. It was very, very difficult, but yeah, life goes
Here we are.
on, and we have to pick up the pieces. Thank God my kids are also very nice and mature. Naintindihan naman nila later on.
Pops, what advice can you give ex-couples? Can they become friends or civil with each other?
Well, it's not easy. It may look easy now, but it's not easy. I went through, I'll speak for myself now. I went through a lot of questions and different types of emotions that I had to deal with. I don't want to talk about the negative side, but basta madami mga emotions involved dyan. And I always say that I think we have to go through all of these for us to learn, understand what happened, because you sort of question yourself when things like this happen. So you got to understand exactly what happened and then accept it. And then later on, try to figure out how you, not the other person, but you yourself can better yourself, And I think that's the only way you can actually move on once all of this is done. For those who think that they forget it, I think you're not supposed to forget it, because it should remind you of what you did before, what happened before, for you to be able to learn and understand what you should do today. It also helps a lot that we do care and love our children so much that I think you sort of forget all of that later on, because the most important thing is how they feel when we're together. We're not fighting, there's no chaos and all that. So it's just smooth sailing afterwards. And they see that we're okay, we can communicate well. So that helps a lot. And I think they're much happier that way.
Yes. So, Martin, there was a lot of pain, as Pops mentioned, a lot of chaos after the breakup. What was the trigger point that brought you back together, that brought back the friendship between you and Pops?
Well, I wish I could say it was something that I did, but it wasn't. It's all Pops. Pops has to be the one, since I was the one who somehow crossed the line. She allowed it back. She allowed me back in the home. She allowed me as the father of the kids. And I think the number one ingredient to coming back to something so chaotic, so publicly chaotic, and I think that added a lot to the pain that Pops felt. I think if she was feeling her pain by herself, it may have been a little bit more tolerable. but knowing that the whole world is watching in some aquarium type atmosphere, that made it worse. So she's the secret, she's the key. And I think the source of her being that key is that she never badmouthed me during the breakup. So all of this was made possible because one of the two was more mature than the other. You choose.
It is way too tiring, and it's more heavy when you feel angry, and when you're angry at the world, when there's so much bitterness, mas mabigat yung dalhin, diba? So again, once you're over it, it is easier said than done, but once you let go of your baggage, you can actually be happier.
So where can we see X's and Y's, and what is the time slot?
Well, it's on the Signal Cable network, right, Pops?
Yes, on the Colors channel 60 SD or to HD. We have replays. Yes.
Oh, there are replays. So
You might
but
be
it's
able-
on Saturday.
Yes.
Saturdays 9 p.m. and then the following day, Sundays at 9 p.m. Same place. Robin has his own show as a co-host with Louis Ocampo on a show called Live with Louis O.
All right. X's
Or
and
Louis
Y's.
Yes.
The concert
Yes.
king, Martin Nievera, and the concert queen, Pops Fernandez. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word. And we leave you now with words from best-selling author Paulo Coelho. Friendship, just like Martin and Pops, is not about whom you know the longest. It is about who came and never left. And that's a final word. I'm Rico Hizon. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night.